and hope they wouldn't trip you up. The innocent bystander was often the worst that could happen. Man, woman or child, they were unpredictable. Would they panic? Stand dumbly in the line of fire? Try to be a hero? Wyatt hated it if they got hurt or killed. Not because he cared personally, but because it upset people, particularly the police. Satisfied that the house was empty, Wyatt crossed the street to number 29, a brisk shoe-leather snap to his footsteps. Dressed in a dark, double-breasted coat over a collar and tie, swinging a black briefcase, he might have been the first businessman up that morning. Soon cars would be backing out of driveways, white exhaust gases drifting in the air. But for the moment, Wyatt was the only figure abroad on the long, prosperous streets of Double Bay. He paused at the driveway. A rolled-up newspaper was lying in the gutter nearby. Wyatt had dropped it there unseen in the dark hours of the morning, but anyone watching from a nearby window now would have seen him bend down, pick up the newspaper, and stand there for a while, looking indecisively up the driveway at the house, as if he were asking himself whether or not he should take the paper in or leave it there where it could be damaged or stolen. They would have seen him set off up the driveway, a kindly passer-by, banging the paper against his knee. The front windows could not be seen from the street, or the houses on either side. Wyatt swung the briefcase, smashing the sitting room window. At once the blue light above the front door began to flash, and Wyatt knew that the bells would be ringing at the local police station. He had a few minutes. He wouldn't rush it. The newspaper was tightly rolled in shrink-wrapped plastic. It had the stiffness and density of a small branch. Wyatt dropped it under the window and walked unhurriedly back down the driveway and onto the footpath again. In the next street, he took off the coat and tie, revealing a navy blue reversible jacket. There was a cap in the pocket. He put that on and immediately looked as though he belonged to the little Mazda parked near the corner. Dark slanting letters on each side spelled out Rapido Couriers, and he'd stolen it from a service depot the night before. Couriers were as common now as milk vans in the old days, so he wasn't expecting questions, and he wasn't expecting anyone to be looking for the car in Double Bay. He climbed in and settled back to wait, a street directory propped on the steering wheel, an old ploy, one that worked. He fine-tuned the police band radio on the seat next to him in time to hear the call go out. He heard the dispatcher spell the address slowly and give street references. "Neighbour call it in?" a voice wanted to know. "Negative. The alarm system at the premises is wired to the station." "A falling leaf," the patrol car cop predicted. "Due. Electrical fault. What do you bet me?" Another voice cut in. "Get to it, you two." It was as though the patrol car cop had snapped to attention. Wyatt heard the man say, "Right away, Sarge. Over and out." And a minute later, he saw the patrol car pass, lights flashing behind him on Carlisle Street. The toothache didn't creep into his consciousness. It arrived in full, lancing savagery. Nerves twitched, and Wyatt felt his left eye flutter. He couldn't bear to move his head. It was the worst attack yet, arriving unannounced, arriving when the job demanded his full attention. He tapped the teeth on his upper left jaw, searching for the bad one, as though finding it would give him some comfort. It was there, all right. He snapped 2 paracetamol tablets out of a foil strip and washed them down with a bottle of apple juice. Then he took out a tiny jar of clove oil, shook a drop on his finger, rubbed it into his jaw and gently over the tooth. He'd been doing this for 5 days now. He didn't know if the painkillers or the clove oil did much good. They didn't make things worse, so that was something in their favour. Wyatt blocked out the pain and concentrated on the radio. It was good to be working alone, the appeal of the planning and the execution, and, if he cared to admit it, of the anticipated and actual danger. He thought for a moment about these jobs Jardine was blueprinting for him. In one instance, 3 months earlier, a millionaire had hired them to get back the silverware collection he'd lost to his ex-wife in the divorce settlement. In another, a finance company had paid to have a bankrupt property developer who owed them $2 million, relieved of 2 undeclared Nolans and a Renoir. The radio crackled. The patrol car came on the line. "False alarm." "Explain, please," the dispatcher said. The voice